Maya Jackson, a 32-year-old server, wipes down the counter after a grueling double shift, sweat beading, but her smile unwavering. Years of scraping by never dimmed her kindness. That night, through the fogged glass, she spots a frail girl shivering in a rickety wheelchair under the storm. Without hesitation, Maya steps out, brings the girl inside, feeding and warming her with heartfelt sincerity. Unbeknownst to her, from the kitchen corner, a single millionaire, disguised as a dishwasher, watches her every move. He's the girl's father, and Maya's simple act of kindness is about to unlock doors she never dared dream of. Can one moment of compassion change a destiny? And what secret lies behind the man's watchful eyes? All right, my dear audience, get ready for a story that'll leave you in awe. Take a second to like the video and subscribe, but only if you truly vibe with what I'm sharing here. And drop a comment below to let me know where you're watching from and what time it is for you. It's always exciting to see someone joining us from all corners of the world. The June rain pours down on San Francisco's Tenderloin, turning the rough streets into muddy streams, shimmering under hazy neon lights. Inside Dixie's diner, Maya Jackson stands behind the counter, her hands deftly folding white napkins, her lips softly humming an old gospel tune her aunt used to sing. It's nearly midnight. The diner's quiet. Only the rain's howling outside, battering the glass like it wants to shatter the stillness. Through the fogged, streaked window, Maya suddenly spots a small figure by the curb. A girl, maybe not yet 10, huddled in a rickety, lopsided wheelchair. Her brown hair clings to her forehead, soaked, water dripping down her pale face. Her thin, torn coat, ripped at the shoulder, offers no shield against the biting cold. Her tiny hands clutch a tattered, worn blanket, as if it's her only defense against the storm. Maya pauses, the napkin slipping lightly to the counter. Her heart aches, a familiar pang she's felt too often in this neighborhood, where forgotten kids wait in vain for someone who never comes. Without hesitation, she steps from behind the counter, pushing open the heavy glass door. A frigid gust rushes in, stinging her face, but Maya doesn't flinch. She kneels beside the girl, her own hair drenched under the rain. Her voice is gentle, yet carries an unshakable resolve, as if to banish the fear in the girl's pale blue eyes. The girl startles, her eyes wide, wary, like a small animal cornered. Maya smiles, a warm smile like the diner's glow. She slips off her own coat, gently draping it over the girl's shoulders, shielding her from the merciless rain. Then, with careful movements, she grips the wheelchair's handles, pushing it over the threshold into the warm embrace of Dixie's diner. The warmth from the old hearth instantly envelops them, driving away the bone-chilling cold. The rich scent of toasted bread mingles with burnt coffee, creating a safe, comforting atmosphere. Maya grabs a clean towel from the counter, draping it over the girl's shoulders, gently wiping the water droplets from her small face. She sets a steaming mug of hot chocolate before the girl, its vapor rising, and a plate of hot roast beef sandwich, the glistening golden brown meat tucked between crisp bread slices. The girl, named Ellie, hesitates, eyeing the food. Then, unable to resist, grabs the sandwich, devouring it hungrily. Her tiny hands, once trembling from cold, now steadier, fingers clutching the bread as if afraid it might vanish. Maya sits across from her, her eyes softly watching. Ellie's shy smile, fleeting across her face, warms Maya's heart, like kindling a small flame amid the storm. She quietly watches the girl eat, asking no questions, pressing no demands, letting the peaceful space surround them. What Maya doesn't know is that from the kitchen corner, Where dirty dishes stack high and water trickles steadily, a pair of keen eyes tracks her every move. Liam Carver, the man standing amid steaming hot water, scrubbing plates, isn't just a dishwasher. He's a single millionaire, a tech empire CEO disguised to seek authentic moments in life. That night, he silently observes Maya, noting each gesture, from how she draped her coat over Ellie, to how she placed the hot chocolate before the girl without expecting anything in return. In Liam's eyes, a faint, enigmatic spark glimmers, as if he's just found something more valuable than his billion-dollar deals. Liam Carver, 44, isn't an ordinary dishwasher, though he stands in Dixie's Diner's kitchen corner, scrubbing dirty plates under steaming water. He's the CEO of Carver Tech, a billion-dollar tech empire based in Silicon Valley's heart. But Liam isn't like flashy billionaires in tailored suits. He prefers anonymity, slipping into humble settings, late-night diners, bustling street corners, to find people who live true to their hearts. Ellie, the 10-year-old girl in the rickety wheelchair waiting in the rain, is his daughter. That night, Liam deliberately left Ellie outside the diner, not out of neglect, but to test the kindness of those around her. When Maya Jackson, the diner's server, cared for Ellie with uncalculated tenderness, Liam knew he'd found someone extraordinary, someone rare in a world he often sees as deceitful. Maya, with her selfless act, unknowingly touched what Liam values most: sincerity. He watches her from the kitchen, his gaze sharp yet discreet, noting every gesture, how she draped her coat over Ellie to shield the rain, how she set the hot chocolate before his daughter without expecting anything. In Liam's mind, an idea takes shape. He doesn't want this kindness to fade like a fleeting moment. He wants to offer Maya a chance, not just to transform her life, but to prove that true values still have a place in this harsh world. The next night, as Maya trudges to her tiny Bayview apartment, her soaked sneakers squelching on the sidewalk, the tip money in her pocket, mere coins, won't buy a decent meal, let alone cover looming rent. Rain falls lightly, leaving shimmering puddles under dim streetlights. As she reaches her rundown building's door, a sleek black SUV glides up, stopping at the curb. The door opens, and Liam Carver steps out. He wears an expensive, perfectly tailored wool coat, but it's understated. His eyes, bright and deep, radiate a rare sincerity for a man of his power. In his hand, a thick, pristine white envelope, the kind only the wealthy use. He hands it to Maya, his voice low and clear, as if each word was weighed. Inside the envelope is a job offer from Carver Tech for a community relations manager role with a six-figure salary, a number Maya never dared dream of. She clutches the envelope, brows furrowing, eyes wary. Opportunities like this don't just appear, especially not for a server like her, scraping by on tips and endless shifts. She searches Liam's face for deceit, but finds only sincerity in his gaze, a sincerity she can't dismiss. Something in how he stands there, not pressuring, not imposing, makes her feel respected. After a moment's hesitation, Maya nods, agreeing to step into a world entirely foreign. When she accepts, Maya has no idea what lies ahead. Carver Tech, with its gleaming glass towers and corridors of power, is a world where every glance judges, every action is scrutinized. Each step she takes will be a test, each day a battle to prove her worth. But that night, standing in her tiny apartment, the envelope still in hand, Maya feels a small spark of hope kindle. She doesn't know this decision will not only transform her life, but touch other destinies in ways she never imagined. Carver Tech's headquarters in Palo Alto looms grandly, a gleaming glass structure like a jewel in Silicon Valley's heart. Towering panes reflect the morning sun, while inside, marble-tiled corridors shine coldly, exuding an air of power as if every step is weighed and judged. Maya Jackson enters the lobby, her thrift store gray suit fitting well but unable to mask its simplicity. She feels the probing stares of colleagues, young, Ivy League educated, with flawless resumes and the confidence of those born to belong here. To them, Maya is an outsider, a diner server from Tenderloin's gritty streets, out of place in this world of tech titans and million-dollar deals. But Maya doesn't let those looks faze her. Her shoulders stay squared, her gaze steady, as if she's long accustomed to doubt and determined to prove her worth. Maya learns fast, adapting to Carver Tech's grueling pace. She spends late nights poring over documents, learning to turn dry numbers into meaningful stories. Her diligence doesn't escape Liam Carver, the man who brought her here. Just weeks after starting, Maya's handed a critical task, persuading a group of Seattle investors to abandon plans to relocate a factory to Southeast Asia. The move, though initially cost-saving, would cost thousands of American workers their jobs, plunging working-class families into hardship. Maya grasps the weight on her shoulders. This isn't just a test of skill. It's a chance to prove she belongs. Carver Tech's boardroom is stark, its glass walls and long, polished ebony table designed to make you feel small. Maya steps in, documents in hand, heart pounding but face composed. Across from her sits Gordon Hayes, a seasoned investor with slicked-back silver hair and an arrogant smile, the kind worn by those who command rather than listen. He lounges, legs crossed, his glance skimming Maya like she's a mere nuisance. As she begins her presentation, he interrupts, calling her little lady with a patronizing tone, waving her off as if shooing a fly. Other colleagues exchange glances, some smirking, as if expecting her to crumble. But Maya doesn't waver. She takes a deep breath, locks eyes with Gordon, and slides a thick dossier across the ebony table. Maya's document is the fruit of sleepless nights, meticulous analysis. She speaks clearly, her voice sharp yet sincere. She explains that moving the factory to Southeast Asia might save costs short-term, but long-term operational expenses would soar as labor demands shift. She cites precise figures, restructuring costs, the PR fallout when media exposes abandoned American workers. But what sets Maya's pitch apart isn't just logic. She speaks of the workers' families, parents toiling lifelong to feed their kids, communities that would shatter if the factory closes. Her words carry the weight of someone who's lived struggle, who knows what it means to scrape by. She's not just presenting a business plan. She's telling a story, and that story touches the hearts in the room. Gordon Hayes, initially dismissive, begins to shift. He leans forward, reluctantly picking up the dossier, flipping through pages with an unreadable expression. Others in the room start paying attention, the initial tension dissipating, giving way to curiosity, and, surprisingly, respect. Maya stands tall, shoulders squared, her gaze fixed on Gordon, as if daring him to find a flaw in her reasoning. When she finishes, a silence blankets the room, broken only by the soft hum of the air conditioner. Gordon sets the dossier down, saying nothing, but his slight nod is the first sign that Maya has achieved what no one expected. Liam Carver, seated at the table's head, observes the entire scene. His eyes, sharp and enigmatic, track Maya's every move. He doesn't smile, doesn't clap, but the corner of his mouth twitches upward, a rare gesture from a man known for his reserve. In that moment, Liam knows that bringing Maya to Carver Tech wasn't just right. It was a choice that will change everything. Dear audience, take a moment to relax, grab a glass of water, and settle in for the rest of this story. The twists are still to come. And please drop a comment below to let me know where you're watching from and what time it is for you. It's always thrilling to see someone join us from across the globe. Comment 1 if you're loving this story. It'll inspire us to bring you more captivating tales. Barely finding her rhythm at Carver Tech, Maya Jackson faces a sudden, ferocious storm, fiercer than any challenge she's ever met. An internal email containing sensitive company financial data has leaked to the press. Worse still, Maya's name appears in the forwarding chain, as if she's the one responsible. The leak threatens not only to tank Carver Tech's stock, but also to trigger legal investigations and millions in damages. Maya feels the ground crumble beneath her. She stands in her small office, the computer screen's glow illuminating her face, her heart pounding in her chest. She knows she's innocent. But at Carver Tech, a world where she's still a newcomer, an outsider among seasoned executives, truth rarely trumps accusations. Fear surges. But it's not the only thing stirring in Maya's heart. There's a simmering anger, a quiet resolve. She's lived through tough days, worked in diners where injustice was routine. But this time, the stakes are higher, and someone clearly wants her out of Carver Tech, erasing her presence like she never existed. In the long, marble-tiled corridors of the headquarters, Claire Nguyen, Liam Carver's trusted assistant, appears suddenly. She moves swiftly, her face stern, clutching a printed email. She hands the paper to Maya, her voice low and urgent, as if every second counts. Claire suspects the leak wasn't accidental. Someone deliberately framed Maya, making her a pawn in a high-stakes power game. Maya grips the paper, her nails digging into her palms, leaving red crescent marks. She stares at the printout, its black and white lines like razor-sharp blades. She's seen power plays before, though on a smaller scale, diner managers blaming her for others' mistakes, suspicious glances just because she was new. But this time, she's not alone. Liam Carver, ever icy in demeanor, summons Maya and Claire to his office. His eyes betray no emotion, but his voice is sharp, clear. He orders them to trace the email's source, to unearth every clue to find the truth. No comfort, no encouragement, just a simple, weighty command, as if he believes Maya can rise to it. Maya and Claire work through the night, in a small room bathed in the blue glow of computer screens. Cold coffee cups pile up on the table, the air thick with the smell of printer ink and tension. They comb through server logs, tracing tiny digital breadcrumbs like pieces of a complex puzzle. Maya, exhausted, refuses to stop. Each time her eyes blur from the screen, she recalls her days at Dixie's Diner, where she learned to stand firm against injustice. Claire, with her sharp mind and patience, guides Maya through the data maze, pointing out the smallest anomalies. Hours crawl by, and the truth emerges piece by piece, like light-piercing fog. By dawn, they uncover the decisive clue. The leaked email originated from a secondary account, routed through an external server to mask its trail. But the culprit wasn't careful enough. The account links directly to Victor Reynolds, a seasoned Carver Tech executive notorious for his power-grabbing ambition. Victor, with his polished smile and expensive suits, has crafted an image of someone who never dirties his hands, yet always knows how to make rivals vanish. Maya stares at the screen, her breath heavy. She knows this truth is her weapon, but also the start of a bigger battle, one she can't afford to lose. On that fateful morning at CarverTech's Palo Alto headquarters, Maya Jackson strides into the boardroom with steady steps, though her heart pounds in her chest. The air in the vast room, with its glass walls and polished ebony table, is taut like a string about to snap. The board of directors has convened. Powerful faces in tailored suits sit rigid, their icy gazes fixed on her. They're primed to deal with her, as if she's a problem to be swiftly and decisively resolved. Victor Reynolds, the mastermind behind the email leak, sits at the table's corner. His face chillingly calm, but his hands clench under the table, pale knuckles betraying his unease. Maya feels the weight of this moment, but she refuses to let it break her. She doesn't sit, as others might. Instead, Maya stands tall, shoulders firm, her gaze unwavering. With a slow, deliberate motion, she places a thick dossier on the table, the sound of paper meeting wood ringing clear in the stifling silence. Her voice is steady, but each word cuts like a blade through the tense air. Inside the dossier lies irrefutable proof, the result of relentless hours with Claire Nguyen, forged emails crafted to frame her, suspicious bank transfers, and communication logs between Victor and a reporter eager to publish for profit. Maya locks eyes with each board member, from seasoned executives to powerful investors, daring them to dismiss the truth laid bare before them. Her gaze doesn't falter, as if declaring she's no easy prey they mistook her for. Victor Reynolds can't maintain his composure any longer. He lurches to his feet, his chair scraping sharply, his voice trembling as he tries to deny it. His excuses echo in the room, but they're feeble, disjointed, like wind trapped in a storm. Before he can continue, Liam Carver, seated at the table's head, speaks. His voice is cold as steel, each word precise, slicing through the chaos. He announces Victor's immediate termination, without hesitation, and orders legal action to hold him accountable. Liam's words land like a hammer, freezing the room's air. The board members, accustomed to calculated meetings, sit silent, their eyes flickering between Maya and Victor. No one dares speak. Maya stands there, shoulders squared, her breathing steady though her heart still races. The fear that gripped her when the leak erupted has vanished, replaced by a quiet but fierce sense of triumph. She hasn't just cleared her name, she's won for people like her, those often seen as easy targets, pushed to the edge simply for not belonging to this world of power. She thinks of her days at Dixie's Diner, facing small injustices, and realizes each challenge forged her for this moment. Maya doesn't smile, doesn't show gloating, but her eyes shine with newfound confidence, a declaration that she belongs here. Liam Carver, from the head of the table, watches her. His eyes, usually sharp and guarded, reveal for the first time a flicker of warmth, a rare expression from a man known for absolute control. He says nothing. He doesn't need to. His gaze is a silent affirmation that he always believed in her, that bringing her to CarverTech wasn't a gamble, but a rightful choice. In that moment, amid the cold room of power and schemes, Maya feels an unspoken bond with Liam, a mutual respect built on kindness and resilience. 3 years later, Maya Jackson is no longer the server wiping counters at Dixie's Diner, where long shifts and meager tips once shaped her life. Now, she's vice president of community relations at CarverTech, one of Silicon Valley's tech giants. Her name is etched on a gleaming brass plaque outside her office door, a symbol of her journey through doubt and trials. Under Maya's leadership, Carver Tech has transformed, not just a profit machine, but a force for social impact. She launched tech training programs, opening doors for disadvantaged youth, those society often overlooks. She forged partnerships with women and minority-owned businesses, bringing equity and voice to marginalized communities. Her greatest achievement is a new community center rising in Bayview, named the Jackson Carver Foundation. This center, with brightly lit classrooms and vibrant walls, offers scholarships and jobs, kindling hope for young people who once thought dreams were a luxury. On the center's opening day, San Francisco's sunshine glows warmly, softening Bayview's chill. A crowd gathers before the new building, laughter and music blending in the air. Maya stands on the podium, in a simple yet elegant silk dress, her hair loose, her eyes shining with pride and gratitude. Beside her is Ellie, now a confident teenager, her smile radiant as the sun. The girl who shivered in the rain 3 years ago, huddled in a rickety wheelchair, now stands tall, her eyes sparkling with ambition. Ellie is set to enter high school, carrying a dream of becoming an engineer, a vision nurtured by Maya's center. She holds Maya's hand, a small but profound gesture, as if saying that one kind act that night changed her entire life. Not far away, Liam Carver stands among the crowd, his demeanor as reserved as ever. His gray suit blends with those around him, but his deep, piercing eyes never leave Maya and Ellie. He doesn't smile, doesn't clap, but his gaze says everything. A profound respect, a silent acknowledgement that Maya has surpassed all he ever expected. Liam, who once disguised himself as a dishwasher to seek authenticity, found in Maya not just kindness, but a strength capable of transforming a community. He stands there, quietly, like a witness to history born from a simple moment. Maya gazes at the crowd, her eyes sweeping over familiar and unfamiliar faces. She recalls that rainy night in Tenderloin, when she brought Ellie into Dixie's diner, when a mug of hot chocolate and a roast beef sandwich were all she could offer. That small act of kindness, seemingly fleeting, opened a new world, not just for her, but for hundreds of youth now given a chance to rise. Kindness, Maya realizes, isn't just an act. It's a flame, spreading and illuminating other lives. She stands on the podium, her breathing soft, her heart filled with a sense of wholeness, as if every hardship she faced was worth reaching this moment. She turns to Ellie, smiling gently, then looks at the crowd again. Her message rings out, not in words, but through this center's existence, through Ellie's smile, through Liam's gaze. Kindness is never small, it's the seed of profound change. Join us in spreading meaningful stories. Thank you for joining us. Please share in the comments where you're watching from and what time it is. It's always exciting to see folks connect from around the globe. Comment 1 if you loved this story. It'll inspire us to bring you more captivating tales.